Good morning, my name is Elise and I am totally obsessed with my luxury garden. I am here in Tobiano, British Columbia, overlooking Tobiano Golf Course, which is the number 8 rated golf course in the entire world. It is stunningly gorgeous here and I hope you'll come along with me as I garden and watch golf. In the video this morning, I'm going to be showing you how I transplant my Russian sage, which is looking very miserable. Right now it's at the front of my property in a south-facing location, but it is in a garden bed that is mulched and gets drip irrigation as well as water from the grass sprinklers. And of course this plant does not like to have a lot of water, so it's flopping over, it's turning a little bit brown at the base, and some branches are falling off. So while this isn't really the best time of year to be transplanting in the heat of summer, I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway and hope that moving it will help it survive and thrive in a new location. It's not looking too pretty up at the front of my house right now, so I'm okay with moving it even if it doesn't survive. It's a little experiment, but I'd rather move it and have things looking better and have it in a location that's better suited for its needs. And if it doesn't work, I can always put something new in the location, but I figure I better try before it gets even worse and completely dies off in the front here. So please come along with me as I garden, transplant my Russian sage, and watch a little bit of golf here in Tobiano. Here at the front of my house, the Russian sage is doing okay, but still it's getting too much water. It's starting to flop, and if I go in close, you can see that the leaves are looking a little bit yellow and brown. So I just think it's a bit too crowded here, and they're getting the water from the other plants that like more water, and these ones are meant to be dry. So right now they're doing okay, but I'm going to move those ones another day. Now this one and this one right here, they've recently just broken off huge chunks of their spikes because they're getting water from the sprinklers for the grass. So they're getting water like every single day from the grass here, and if I go up close you can just see that the branches have broken off. Like here, this one broke off and it's just kind of mushy and it's just very unhappy in this spot. It's not dry enough. And then again, this one here, you can see tons of these branches have broken off as well. There's only 2 spikes left. This one over here is doing a lot better. It's very full because it's further away from the sprinklers for the grass, so this one's staying fairly dry and looks happy, so I'll leave that one. But I'm going to move these 2 that I just showed you, and I'm going to put them in the rock beds instead, because the ones that I do have in the rock beds look a lot happier. This is the east side of our property here, and there's one Russian sage here that seems to be quite happy. It hasn't flopped over at all and doesn't seem to be getting too much water here. So I'm going to move those 2 other plants over here. I'm going to put one in between these 2 dogwoods here, and then I believe another one here. So it's going to be quite a bit of work because I need to move the rock away, and then under the rock is landscape fabric. Then dig the hole, then transplant the Russian sage. So this is going to take quite a bit of time, but I am going to try and put one there and there so that it kind of looks staggered, like 3 dogwoods. These are red twig dogwoods, and then 3 Russian sage, so that there's kind of some symmetry there. So we'll see how that turns out. You can see all the smoke here. Wow. have a hole dug here, nice and big, or sorry, not dug, it's just an opening in the rocks. And as you can see inside there, there's landscape fabric, so my next step is to cut back the landscape fabric. So I made the hole pretty small, and there's a giant root in the way, but it's really hard to dig here, so that's just what it's going to be, and I hope it works. This is the existing Russian sage. I'm just going to pull the bark mulch away from it so that I don't waste that. And then, oh yeah, it's super damp under here, which explains why this Russian sage is so unhappy. So I'm going to dig this out with the shovel here, one big scoop, get as much dirt as I can, and then I'm going to bring it over to that hole that I dug on the other side of the property. And I'm going to hope it works. There is a hose right here for the irrigation system, so I'm trying to be delicate to not damage that. The roots have kind of grown into it, so I'm going to have to pull them a bit, which you're not supposed to do, but I'm just going to make it work here. There we go. Pretty small root system. I don't think it was that happy here. I'll just put this back. Return the bark mulch so I don't get a bunch of weeds in this spot while I wait for a new plant. So I'm going to go buy something new to put here. I'm kind of thinking a tidbit hydrangea because I already have a couple of those. I have 2 and I like groups of 3. There's 2 just over here, so I might put a 3rd right here. Same thing here. This is far too close to the grass. It's getting way too much water. So here we go. Just get it out. Very easily. A little bit more of a root system on this one. But don't pull. Technically, you want to be as gentle as possible, but not too worried about these. It's more so an experiment. If it doesn't work, it's not the end of the world for me, but I'm going to put in the effort to try at least. Here we go. I have put them in there. It was very, very quick. I didn't add in any extra soil or fertilizer or any drip lines because apparently Russian sage do not like any of those things, so I think I was babying them too much. Hopefully these new spots are going to be much better. If not, I'll just get something else, but I'm hoping they take because these are beautiful. I love the color. And now I have 1, 2, 3 of them. Sorry, I'm breathing a bit heavy. That was a lot of work. And then I have the red twig dogwoods here, here, and here. So it's a nice balance between them. So we'll see how those turn out. Woohoo! Here is the view of what it looks like now with those removed. So it looks a little bit bare. A lot of these plants are brand new. So that's okay, but I do want to put something to replace the one here and the one here. As mentioned, I might do the tidbits to match up with these here and here because I like the continuity of the firelight hydrangeas throughout the property. I have those tidbit ones there, and then I have several up at the front over here, as you can see. So it's nice to have that continuity throughout the property, so I might do that. I'm gonna go to the nursery maybe this weekend or later this week and pick something out. Oh, that was close. Thank you for watching this video of me transplanting my Russian sage from one spot to another. I hope you learned something new and can take that to your own gardening at your own property. I hope you have a great day and happy gardening.